The Boston Public Health Commission recently held its third annual summit for young people on handling the pitfalls of relationships. The focus was on cheating and healthy ways to break up. There was also attention to the shift in boundaries brought about through social networking on the internet. Joining us are two of the participants, the director of the Start Strong program from the Boston Public Health Commission, Nicole Daley, and a peer leader with the program, Jason Nascimento. Thank you both very much for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
I want to start with Nicole, because some people might be feeling here a summit on breaking up for teenagers. Come on, I mean, what's the big deal here?
One of the things that we know is that breaking up is part of the relationship cycle, and most teens will go through a series of relationships before they end their teenage years. And usually, you know, in years gone by, it's done trial by error. But one of the things that we're finding is that there is a lot of hurt and pain, and it can actually affect a teen's ability to move on and effectively engage in a healthy relationship afterwards. So if they have a poor or unhealthy breakup, it can really affect them later on in life.
Jason, what about your own experience as a teen? Do you know about cases where a breakup was really bad and it had this kind of an after effect?
Well, in school, like, it's behind hidden doors sometimes, but you hear students talking about how this student hit her in some type of way, and she got mad, and like verbal abuse, swearing, and everything happened in between those two partners. So abuse happens like every day.
What about the effect on students? I mean, I imagine a normal reaction sometimes to a breakup is to just feel depressed.
Mainly it's, I want to say, women, because men are the more aggressors in most cases. So women do feel oppressed sometimes. Emotional abuse, has a big impact on these cases.
Yeah. And one of the things that we do really talk about is it is natural. So what we're offering at the summit is not a silver bullet. It's not a way to simply just take away the after effects, but what we're talking about is how do you engage in a respectful breakup that has the minimal amount of impact, because we know that there's going to be hurt, we know that there's going to be sadness involved, but there are ways to mitigate some of those effects.
Well, talk about what happens before breakups are officialized, because the lack of respect usually means there's some cheating that goes on, and I guess that's what you had a documentary about at the summit as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
So the documentary features some of our peer leaders, and it talks a lot about the complexities of cheating. So it asks very basic questions. So for example, is flirting cheating? Can you rebound from cheating and continue the relationship? A lot of the questions that teens grapple with. So it gives a lot of insight into kind of what's going on for teenagers right now in terms of cheating.
And we're going to bring up an excerpt of that in just a moment here.
Well, anything like sexual, like kissing, any of that sexual kind of things, those are all cheating.
I think like maybe like touching appropriately, like kissing, and doing other sexual stuff.
Yeah, like anything that violates the other partner's opinion and stuff. Like there gotta be some type of compromise between them. So I think cheating will be in between them, and what makes it cheating.
I think pretty much if you get caught with another man or girl or whatever.
It's not, I'm not saying it's bad or good at the same time, but like a guy and a girl's like, you're gonna see people sometimes, you think they're attractive, but that's not cheating, that's just like human nature. Yeah. So basically if you're with the partner and you're doing all the touching and kissing and interaction sexually, that's what I consider cheating.
Jason, what about the ability to come back and put a relationship back together after one party has been cheating? What would you say if someone asked you that question? Should I give this person, should I give him or her another chance?
Well, in some cases, I think it would be reasonable, but most of the time, if it ends in physical abuse, then that's taking it to obviously a whole nother level. But if two people can learn to cope with each other and find that balance, they can end off in friends, or just in general have like end off in a good breakup, which is actually the healthy way, instead of like ending in harm, pain, or any such like negativity.
Nicole, what about the odds of physical abuse like this? Is this something you think really happens fairly often among teens?
Yeah, actually, in the last Health of Boston report that was put out by the Boston Public Health Commission, they found that 9% of teens reported that they had been physically hurt by their partner in the past. So it is something that teens are grappling with every day. And it's something that comes up. But one of the things we want to clarify is that when we're talking about engaging in a healthy breakup and when we're talking about this issue at the summit, we are really trying to share prevention methods early, because we don't advocate for a teen that's going through an abusive relationship to break up with their partner face-to-face. We don't advocate for a lot of the communication tactics we talk about at the summit. But we do acknowledge that abuse is happening for teens.
Coming back to Jason, what about the ways to end a relationship for whatever the reason, if people do want to move on? What's the right way to do that?
The right way, it's basically like I said before, finding the balance. If you can find the balance in ending in a good way, such as like maybe tell your partner, hey, I'm sorry for what I've done. Maybe we can still be friends. Do you think we could still move on with our friendship? We don't have to have a partnership, like a deep one, but just to let you know that like I'm still there for you. We could do this together. Just let that partner know that no matter what happens, you'll still be there for them.
Nicole, there's also a difference between communicating that by Facebook and doing it face-to-face, and maybe doing it face-to-face when no one else is around.
There is definitely a big difference, and that's why we do say that if there is no abuse, if there's no threat of abuse, it is preferable to do it face-to-face. That teens should take that courtesy, because one of the things we found out when we were doing focus groups and talking with teens as we planned the summit is that many of them wanted that respect. Many of them wanted to know that their partner cared enough about them to have a face-to-face breakup. But then what the other side of it is, many didn't feel they had the skills to actually witness the person cry or witness the person be upset. So the summit is really about building skills, building those communication skills, building their efficacy to have that really difficult conversation.
What about that, Jason? I mean, you tell the partner, you know, maybe they're not going to take it very easily.
If they don't, then like during the program, we try to teach teens like the good path on like how to go about it, but we can't make people do what like they want to do. It's their decision. All we try to do is show them a good way to go about it.
And so actually that's why one of our workshops in the summit was called It's Complicated, because sometimes it is a little bit more complicated and it doesn't just work itself out easily. And we do try to just have the conversation with teens about what to do if your partner isn't taking it so easily. What are the boundaries you can draw for yourself to kind of protect against the negative behavior? So maybe the posting on Facebook and all of those things.
Yeah. By the way, Nicole, any other advice about the internet? Because sometimes people do, maybe they live out fantasies on the internet, but they might later on be surprised that people think they're not fantasies, that they're real.
I think one of the things we encourage is having the teens, what we say is take 3. So, and one of them being taking a technology timeout. And it can be defined however they want. It could be for literally 20 minutes to cool off. It could be saying, I'm not going on for 2 weeks. It's allowing them to think about what are their technology boundaries, to kind of think ahead of what they might want to do if things start to get sticky while they're going through the breakup. And then the other 2 are taking care of yourself and taking responsibility for your actions.
We should mention if people would like any more helpful advice from the Public Health Commission, you've got some information online as well. You can do that while they're on their break, perhaps?
Yes. So we do have our tools online, which can be found at www.bphc.org/startstrong.
All right, thank you very much, Nicole Daley and Jason Nascimento. Still to come, a look at the market for troubled housing and who's buying. But first, this message.